All right. So the title of today's discussion is The God I Was Searching For. The God I Was Searching For. So we're going to start with a book excerpt. We're going to read together. And then we are going to go right into the discussion. Okay. Cool. Here we go. He had searched for God all his life. He had searched for God all his life, right? Common scenario. It's a common situation that a lot of us are in, right? As a child, he knelt before wooden pews in a church scented with candle wax and incense, whispering prayers he did not understand. His grandmother told him, if you speak to him, he will hear you. So he spoke, trembling and small, to a sky that never answered. The stained glass glowed like distant portals, and he thought heaven must live behind them. When he grew older, he began to wander. He went to temples where the air was heavy with sandalwood and silence. He listened to monks chant the name of God until the name dissolved into sound. He read the sacred books of many faiths, from the Psalms to the Bhagavad Gita, and each told him to seek the divine with all his heart. So he sought. He prayed more. He fasted longer. He worshiped harder. Yet when he returned home, each night, he found the same silence staring back from within. Okay? He thought perhaps God had conditions. Maybe he needed to be better, purer, more worthy. He tithed and confessed, burned incense, and raised his hands higher. Still, the heavens did not split open. Still, he felt the ache of separation. One night, sitting in an empty church long after the service ended, he whispered, "Why won't you speak to me?" And in the quiet, a question echoed back, "Who is asking? Who is asking?" He froze. The voice was not outside of him. It rose from somewhere deeper than thought, somewhere vast and intimate. It was not the thunder of a God in the sky, but the whisper of being itself. He remembered the words of Jesus, "The kingdom of God is within you." For the first time, he realized that this was not poetry, it was a map. In the months that followed, his prayers began to change. There were no longer letters sent upward, but a listening inward. The more he listened, the less there was of him. He began to see what the mystics meant when they said, "I and my Father are one." He once thought Jesus was describing a special relationship, a divine privilege, but now he saw that relationship requires two, and oneness has no two. Jesus had not worshiped God as separate. He had become so empty that only God remained. He read the words again. "He who has seen me has seen the Father," right? John 14:9. It was no longer blasphemy, but clarity. To see with awakened eyes is to recognize that every breath, every moment, every heartbeat is the infinite wearing a name, right? So basically, he's coming into this awakening. This is that Meister Eckhart quote that said, "The more that I searched for God, right, I found myself. But when I begin to search for myself, I find nothing but God." The divine paradox is that the one who is seeking is the one who is attempting to be sought. All right. Such a divine paradox. So he went from searching everything outside of him, temples, mosques, books, poems, relationships, people, all of these things trying to get this connection with God, to simply deciding to go inward. And when I say go inward, I'm not saying to dig within, right? To dig within for some distant God within you, but the realization that God is closer to you than you are to your damn self. closer to you than your jugular, closer to you than you are to your very breath. All right? Cool. So let's go a little bit further. The death before death. All right. One morning, he went back to the temple. He watched others bow, recite, and plead. Tears filled his eyes, not from superiority, but from remembrance. He had been there, the man begging the sun to rise while standing in its light. It's a common realization, right? Damn, this whole time I've been surrounded by God. Right? The quote, or the mystic Kabir said what, right? I laugh when I hear that the fish is thirsty. It's the human condition, right? We stand in the presence of God, surrounded by the substance of God, yet still seek and search, trying to find something out there, right? He walked outside and sat beneath a tree, watching the breeze move through the leaves. In that stillness, he understood what Rumi meant when he wrote, I looked for God and found only myself. I looked for myself and found only God. The last illusion to die was the idea that he could find God. The greatest illusion, that God is somewhere to be found. Right? You can't find God, you can experience the divine. But how do you experience God? Through your own being. It's the only place that you meet God. It's in your own being. Okay? What he was seeking was what was seeking. Prayer had become union. Devotion had become disappearance. He felt it in his bones. In him we live and move and have our being, right? Acts 17:28. Not as guests, but as extensions of his own breath, right? So this is what even Paul, right, was referring to in this. In him we live and move and have our being, right? Within God. You stand in the substance of God. You are within God. You could not live or move or have your being without being surrounded or animated by source. All right? So that night he did not pray. He did not speak. He only breathed. And in each breath he felt the pulse of something eternal. It was as though God had been hiding in plain sight, waiting for him to stop searching long enough to see. He realized now every temple he had entered was within him. Every altar was his own awareness. Every scripture was his own consciousness, translating the ineffable into words, right? It's one of the things, the more that you touch the divine, is that you realize that words always fall short. They always fall short. He smiled. He had not found God. He had remembered God. And in that remembrance, the seeker disappeared. Right? The seeker disappeared. So just a short excerpt. Now let's get into the actual discussion. So beyond relationship, the return to union. So John 10:30, right? John 10:30, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one, right? Most people approach God as though he were somewhere else. They reach upward, outward, forward, never realizing that what they seek is the very awareness through which the seeking occurs. Religion taught us to build a relationship with God, but how can the wave build a relationship with the ocean? The wave is the ocean expressing itself in motion, right? This is the nature of omnipresence. Omnipresence means God cannot be there and not me. God cannot be within me in a limited sense. The fullness of God must be in every single place throughout the fabric of reality. That is the definition of omnipresent, right? The idea of separation is mercy for the mind that cannot yet conceive of unity. Let me pause right there. What does that mean? The idea of separation is mercy for the mind that cannot yet conceive. For the mind that cannot yet conceive of unity. What does that mean? It means multiple things, honestly. What does that mean? The mind, right? The idea of separation. Given in two ways, right? If you listen to a lot of these mystics talk over time, what they will do is they will use separation as a concession to talk about unity, right? Even Jesus, right, one of the greatest mystics, right, was saying, okay, I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. Basically, this roundabout way of saying me and God are one. There's only oneness, right? The Father does the work. I don't do anything. The Father does the work. I could do nothing without the Father. Constantly pointing back to this idea of union. There is no I, there is only God. There is no I, there is only God. Now, number two, if right now you only perceived unity, you didn't perceive any separation, you truly knew and felt and were one with the birds and the trees and the grass and every single person, right? Your mind would simply crack under all of that. You wouldn't know left from right or up or down, backwards from forwards. You could not perceive reality. So this idea of separation, right? Placing all of your divinity within this vessel, or placing your awareness within this vessel, right? And then perceiving this illusion of separation is mercy to this human vessel, because now it allows you to actually experience yourself. Now it allows you to actually experience yourself, okay? So here we go. When Jesus spoke of the Father, he was not referring to a distant deity, but to the infinite life breathing through him. Yet to speak of oneness to a crowd attached to separation would be to blind them with the sun. So he clothed the absolute in language the finite could bear. He made a concession to human limitation, allowing the illusion of relationship as a stepping stone toward realization. But in his own consciousness, there was no duality. The Son did not speak to the Father spoke as the Son, which is all speaking, all language. Every voice comes from the same place. Every voice is the same voice. There is nothing but the voice of God. There is nothing but the voice of God. There is nothing but the Word of God. The Word of God is beyond one single book, one single person. The Word of God is every word that has ever echoed throughout existence. All right? The illusion of two. A relationship requires two. Yet in the presence of the infinite, there is only one. The ego prays as a beggar to a distant king, but the awakened soul prays as silence to silence. Meister Eckhart said what, right? The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. This is the depth of the illusion of two-ness. The moment you recognize that the life within you is the same life animating every cell, every star, every breath, prayer transforms from petition to participation. It is no longer God give me, but God be me. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If you are the substance of God, if you are the Word of God made flesh, if every word you speak is the Word of God, this being, this spirit, who in the beginning said, let there be light. What is stopping you right now from choosing to live the life of your dreams? What is stopping you from deciding that money is this beautiful energy that flows to you in miraculous ways, that takes care of you, that supports you, that is always there to give you what you need? What is stopping you from looking at life as if everything is working out for you? What is stopping you from deciding that everything is working out for you? This is what manifestation is, isn't it? The choice of the decision that everything is working out for you. I mean, we add a lot of fluff to it, right? We add a lot of extra rules because we try to pretend to be confused. We add rules about controlling thoughts and controlling emotions and doubts and fears and worries and all and yada yada and blah, blah, blah. But what if you just decided, well, because I am God, why don't I just decide that my life is going to go well? Why don't I put all of the emotional control and the thought control and the watching my doubts and doing these rules and affirming and saturating why don't I put all of that bullshit to the side and simply decide that everything is working out perfectly? What is it that separates people who live the life they want from people they don't? Is it that people that live the life that they want are better at speaking affirmations? Are they better at visualizing? Are they better at remembering that they're God? What is it? I would argue to say they're better at making a choice. They're better at looking at life through the lens of everything is working out for me. What's stopping you from doing that? Have you gotten so caught in the weeds of trying to figure out how to control thoughts and emotions and vibrations and frequencies that you have lost the complete plot? The complete plot is that you are God and you get to decide how your life is going to unfold in this moment moving forward. You get to choose and say, money is an energy that supports me beautifully, that wraps its arms around me, that carries me to what I want, that enables me. It's an extension of me. I don't know where it's coming from. Don't give a fuck where it's coming from, but it's going to come. You get to decide that about relationships. I don't care who walks in and out my life. The right people will always be there. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you like me, don't like me. I don't care if you love me, hate me, don't care. The right people will be there. Love will always find its way to me because I am love. What's stopping you from taking that mindset? Well, when we break it down in those simple layman terms, well, excuses dissolve. What happens when you don't have these imaginary things to make up or to argue with? What happens when you no longer have a make-believe vibration or frequency or controlling your thoughts or control? What happens if all of these tired-ass excuses are just put to the side? Because that's what they are. They're just tired-ass excuses. What happens when they're all put to the side and the only thing left is you making a choice that everything's going to work out for you? Instead of you waking up, pretending to be confused all day, I'm just so confused on this reality crowd, I don't know. This creator said this and this person said this. When will you simply decide that you get it? How many more manifesting workshops? How many more manifesting classes? How many more books? How many more fasts? How many more diets? How many more techniques? How many more breathing over your water? How many more waiting for the blood moon? How many more manifestation rituals? How many more will you do before you give yourself permission to just decide that you have what you want? I'm only saying it because I've been there. I'm only saying it because I've been there. I have no shame. I have been there. And the only thing that I was looking for was the permission to make a decision. I was looking for something to just tell me, you know what, Alex, now you can make a decision. Now you're allowed to have what you want. The whole time, I was simply waiting for myself. We use so many things as permission slips, right? Whether it's a zodiac sign or a doctor or a loved one, hell, even children. You're like, oh my God, I hope my child thinks I'm a good parent. We use everything as a permission instead of deciding who we are. When this person comes back, then I'll be fulfilled. When this money shows back, then I can be prosperity. Because we just lack trust in our decision. and our ability to make a decision for us. When you get to this point where you're just tired, when you get to this point where you're just tired, right? When you're just tired of the techniques and the processes and going in this loop, you'll realize that the only thing that you ever had to do was make a choice. You just had to make a choice that everything was working out. This is it. There's no metaphysical lesson, deeper lesson. Is you simply have to decide that nothing is against you. All right? And you can do that. You can make that decision right now. All right? So here we go. The disappearance called devotion. All right, true devotion is not clinging. True devotion is not clinging to God, but surrendering into God until no you remains to cling. It is the gentle annihilation of the false self. The mystics called this fana, F-A-N-A, F-A-N-A, right? The death before death. It is the recognition that the voice saying, I love you, God, and the voice hearing it are the same. Every genuine act of worship is a returning, a merging, a remembering of what has never truly been a part. When you sing, do not sing to God, sing as God. When you make a choice, do not make a choice to God, make it as God. When you pray, do not pray for God to come near. Pray until you vanish and only presence remains. Then your very breath becomes liturgy. Your stillness becomes temple, and your existence becomes the prayer. All right. So I don't feel like going any further. I'm gonna do the reflection questions, then we'll do questions. Just kind of in one of those moods. I'm just kind of in a mood to talk shit. All right. So reflection question number 1. All right. Have I been praying to God or as God's own awareness? Have you been praying to God as a beggar, or have you been speaking with the authority that's your birthright, that you've been blessed with since the beginning? And number 2, I don't like this question for this one right now. Let's do, all right, I got a letter. Okay, got a letter for y'all. Then we'll do questions. All right, here we go. Beloved, there was a time when you prayed to the sky, believing heaven was far above you. You whispered to a distant God, hoping he might bend his ear towards your trembling voice. You wandered through temples, listened to sermons, lit candles, and repeated names you did not yet understand. You thought the silence after your prayers was rejection, but now you know it was God's own breath listening to you. You were never far, never lost. The distance you felt was only the echo of your own forgetting. The one who searched for God was God in disguise, hiding behind the veil of longing. Every ache for the divine was already his touch from within. You have returned home now, not to a place, but to presence. You have remembered that there are not two, there is only one life, endlessly expressing itself through all that you are. You have learned that to pray is not to beg, but to become still enough for the infinite to recognize itself in you. When the mind grows restless and asks, where is God? Whisper back, here as me. When fear tells you that you must earn your worth, remind it that worthiness was never yours to gain. It is the nature of being itself. Did you hear that? When fear tells you that you must earn your worth, reminded that worthiness was never yours to gain. It is the nature of being itself. When you speak, speak as creation itself. When you love, love as the Creator loves, without beginning, without end. Remember, there is no need to reach for the light. You are what the light becomes when it remembers itself as form. You are not the worshiper. You are the flame upon the altar of existence. Be still, beloved. The search is over. The one who prayed has vanished into prayer. The one who sought has dissolved into the sought. And what remains is what has always been. God breathing your name as its own. God breathing your name as its own, right? I am that I am, right? No matter what. No matter what. All right? Your divine asses. So, let's do questions. Let's do questions, okay? Let's do questions. Remember, on this journey, okay? On this journey, I want to simplify this, right? So I'm going to answer everything in a very simplified way today. When are you going to make the damn choice? When will you choose what you want? When will you choose what you want? Cool. So let's talk. What I want to talk about? Right now. Right now. The belt is coming out. Love you too, brother. Love you too, bro. Yeah, the attention is what carries the very desire. When will you choose what you want? Every day. Maria, what it do? You don't know what you want anymore? I know what you want. You want every moment of your life to lead you into more clarity about what you want. You want every moment of your life to be fun, to be delicious, to be divine, to be a reminder of the God that you are. That's what you want. You might not be able to translate into specific desires, but that's what you want. You want love to be a celebration of the God that you are. You want money to be a celebration of the God that you are. You want everything to be a celebration. Friendship to be a celebration of the God that you are. You want the work that you do to be a celebration of the God that you are. That's what you want. I know what you want. I know exactly what you want. Right? No shade to you, right? Because this is what a lot of us do, is that we sit around and we pretend we don't know what we want. Yes, you do. You know exactly what you want. You want God to be expressed in every corner of your life. You want love to set your soul on fire. You want to feel infinitely and divinely supported no matter what. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Simply know it. Simply make the decision that this is your life from now on. This is your life from this point forward. From this point forward, you live a life of support, of love, of proof of God in everywhere. You are God. Why wouldn't the proof of God be in every corner of your life? How can you align with what you want? Decide that everything works out for you. This is alignment. If you are God, if God is within you, then your alignment is to think as God. And God would not be trying to align with anything. God would simply be deciding that everything works out. This is alignment. This is true alignment. It's not what you eat. It's not how you feel. It's you making a decision that everything is for me. I cannot lose money because it always comes back. For some odd reason, every time I spend it, it comes back multiplied. Don't know what it is. Must be God. I don't know what it is. All my friendships are divine. Don't know what it is. When I love a woman, she loves me more. Don't know why. Don't know why. It always becomes a celebration of love. And love can't leave me. Money can't leave me. Prosperity can't leave me. Can't. This is what you want. This is alignment in its purest sense, man. Let's put all the fluff to the side. Let's put all the bullshit to the side. You just want to make a decision that everything is working out. That's it. You just want to make a choice. This is alignment. Fuck everything else. Everything else is nonsense. Everything else is pure bullshit. I choose to see the world with the eyes of devotion. It's all God. It's all working out for me. It's all God. It's all working out for me. Love you too, Alyssa. What do you do, Lex? Right? It's not about me seeking, right, all of this new information. I just got to know about the chakras. I got to know about Kundalini. I got to know about quantum physics. I got to know about, all these different realities. I got to know what is the other version of this person experiencing in this reality or in their reality. It doesn't matter. What is this person thinking about me? Doesn't matter. All that matters is what I think about me. What I know about me, not even what I think about me. All that matters is what I know about me. And what I know is that everything is working out. That's what I know. What I know is that life always finds a way to support me. Always. It's all God. It is an absolute insult to God to see anything as less than God, to see anything as less than the way that you want it to be. It's a choice. The way that I choose to see life is a choice. That's why it's called the way that I choose to see life, right? I can choose to see life through the eyes of confusion. I can waste 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Isn't that the same as saying it's all fucking working out? Everything's working out. Don't know how, it's just gonna work out. Don't know how. What if the situation looks a certain way, right? What if it looks a way that I don't want it to look? Well, you fucking tell me. What would be the mindset or the knowing that would get you through that? Please, you tell me. Wouldn't it be it's done? What if there's a timeline? What if there's another person? What if the situation doesn't look right? What if my thoughts are racing? What if I have anxiety? What if I have expectations to look at? What about the energy field of the heart? Aren't these all the same questions? Aren't they all simply excuses? Aren't they just things that just get in the way of me making a choice? I'm looking for permission to make a choice. You can't measure the heart, your energy field of your heart. You've never seen it, never felt it, never measured it. Why would you have to? Why would you get rid of expectations that everything is working out perfectly for you? Isn't that manifestation 101? Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When I speak of feelings, I don't speak of emotions, but the acceptance of the fact that you already are it. Already are what? Somebody that everything works out for. What expectations am I dropping? If anything, I'm just dropping that this has to look perfect for me to know it's perfect. I don't have to see the money to know that I am money. I don't have to see everything working out to know what it is working out. That's my dropping of expectations. I stopped trying to micromanage everything and I just know. I stopped trying to see things a certain way. I stopped trying to raise this vibration. I stopped trying to eat grapes and fruits just so I can get into imaginary alignment. I just decide it's all working out. Boom. That's it. Everything else is just an excuse. It's a permission slip. You look for permission slip with the energy field, with detachment or attachment. Hopefully this is resonating different. Hopefully this is resonating different, right? Because we can come into this manifestation space and we get so trapped in onto like techniques, nonsense. And we decide to just take a stand as reality. Take a stand as reality. It's like stand up in reality as God. Dare I say, stand up in it? Stand up within reality as God. You don't have to do anything but know. You don't need permission. Everything that you're looking for is permission, right? So looking to change the energy field of you is permission, right? Believing that you have to do it in meditation, that's waiting for permission, right? Even like, oh, I'm so confused about this. Like, what is this? You're just waiting for permission. You want somebody to clarify something to you logically, so you can just make a decision that it's working out. But you believe that you need some clarity on something. When you don't, you just need clarity on it's all working out. Somehow, some way, I don't fucking know. But it just will, because I've decided. Right? Everything becomes a permission. So controlling thought, do I have to control my thoughts? No, you just have to know that it's done, and you have to return to that knowing. You have to continue to stand up for yourself. Well, I don't know, Alex. Like, how do I do? Like, right now I'm saying that I have this person, but what if people in reality ask me about it? What do I say to them? What do you mean, what do you say to them? Just because you say something, does it mean it's the truth? Let me. Some of y'all act like you never fucking lied before. But you lie to your specific person all the time. You told them you was home, you was out doing what? Okay, let me say this. Okay, let's say this. All right, you have money in your account, right? Let's say a bill collector calls you. A bill collector calls you right now and it says, "Hey, you owe such and such money. Let's say you owe money for your toll tax. You owe money on this hospital bill. Can you just make a payment of $900? And you say, fuck no, I don't have it. In your account, you definitely have it. You don't want to pay that shit. Because you said, no, I don't have it, does the money in your account magically disappear? Somebody tell me, enlighten me on this. Because you have just told this bill collector, no, I ain't got this shit. Does the money in your account disappear? Does it change just because you said something? Why the fuck would that be the case? You see how ridiculous some of these questions are? We're just waiting for some kind of permission outside of us. Please give me permission to have what I want. When it comes to what I want, I must follow some kind of rule. If I do this and do that, right? Some magic formula. No, the magic formula is you deciding that it's going to work out for you. If a bill collector calls me, I'm going to become a very poor man. On that phone, I'm going to become a very poor man in my speech. Does that make me a poor man in reality? Hell no. If my ex calls me, it's like, hey, Alex, I just miss you. What are you doing tonight? I'm busy. I'm busy. I got to do something. Matter of fact, the last time that you were working and you told that lie, you said, my mom's just sick. I got to go take care of her. I'm just sick. I'm not feeling well today. I just can't come into the office. Did you just magically start getting sick? I'm just curious. Did you magically become sick? No. Because in your mind, you know, man, I'm fine. I'm finna take this day off. I'm finna go jump out. I'm finna go do a little bit of something out here. I'm about to do my thing. You weren't worried about none of that shit. But when it comes to manifestation now, all of a sudden, what happens if I go to the store? How can I act like I'm a millionaire if I don't have them? Why are you, what are you doing? It's simply about knowing who you are. And when you know who you are, go do whatever. You see how confused this space makes us? This space makes us so confused. Well, if I speak against it, won't I mess up my... No. What? This space makes us confused. The bottom line is this: you got to decide who you are. You have to decide everything's working out for you. And now from that power, you can move forward and do whatever, move however, say whatever, feel whatever, think whatever, but know who you are. Hopefully that's adding a little bit more clarity. Because I know when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, I used to think about the Ninja Turtles all the time. The Ninja Turtle movie, I used to love the Ninja Turtles. I used to have Ninja Turtle pajamas. I used to have Ninja Turtle bed sheets. I've yet to wake up as a Ninja Turtle. I've yet to wake up as one. You get to decide who you are. Lunchbox and everything. And everything. You get to simply decide who you are. From that knowing of who you are, just go through life and let everything unfold perfectly. Right? Don't get so caught up in processes and should I say this and do this and that. Right? If I'm prosperity, then I should be giving back. Does that mean that I need to donate whenever I go? I've heard that question before. If I'm prosperity, what about, when they ask for tips, should I be tipping more? What about when, I order some food and it asks me if I want to round up for a donation? I want to do that shit. But you don't have to do it. That has nothing to do with you receiving what you want. Just because you have the money that you want, does it mean that you're going to just spend it on everything? I'm not rounding up shit. I'm not trying to give y'all a tax break. I know what you're doing with this money. If I want to donate, I'll do it myself. Exactly. That's the whole point of tithing too, right? We're like, well, if you tithe, your money will be stretched. No, I think my money will be stretched by not tithing, actually. The compound interest that y'all are accruing on my tithing, I think I'll keep that to my damn self. I think that I'm going to keep that shit to my goddamn self. How do you tap into spirit more? Well, that's the illusion. Believing that we can get closer to a God that animates our very being, right? Your breath, like every cell in your body is animated by the fullness of God. So if that is the case, then the question is always going to be, all right, if you believe that you are seeking God, who is the one that is seeking? Who is the one that is seeking God? Where does that desire or that awareness come from? Well, that awareness comes from God, right? This divine vessel that was meant to hold the fullness of God was simply made so God could express itself, right? Which is truly the meaning of the word serve, right? We hear that we were made to serve God. Okay. This serving is really, we're meant to express God. You're meant to express God. Okay. So now because you're meant to express God, how do you do that? Well, God is within itself. So everything around you is God. Everything around you is God. So if everything around you is God, now you have to perceive everything as separate from you just so you can experience it. So even forgetting is just part of the game. I forget so I can remember. I forget so I can experience more of myself. So even the waking up in the illusion, the remembering and the forgetting and the remembering, it's all part of that divine dance. So it's not about searching for anything per se, right? It's about remembering that everything is already God. So you can find God in a drink of water. You can find God in a conversation with your mother, in a conversation with a stranger, in a conversation with the woman that you love. You can find God everywhere. So it's not about seeking anything, it's about remembering. Right? We are immersed, drowning in God right now. We are drowning in God right now. The heir to your fortune. I was just trying to manifest that, Maria. Thank you. I was just thinking about that earlier. I was like, it'd be nice to just inherit a fortune. Just be nice. And then how can we see everyday annoyances through the eyes of reverence? Just see them as opportunities for you to choose what you want and don't want. See them as other people simply taking their own unique perspective of the divine, right? Don't look at it so much as how am I creating it? Because that's how you get tied into the illusion, trying to figure out, like, did I create that shit? You know what I'm saying? If they're annoying me, how did I create that? Don't take that meaning from it, right? Just look at it and say, okay, do I want to still take the identity or embody the identity of someone who is annoyed by these things, or someone who is around people or around these things that annoy me? If I do, cool. If I don't, cool. Right? It's just giving you clarity. It's just giving you clarity. How I see everything, right? Especially when we come on these live streams. And I already have an assumption that some of you will come up here and ask me questions I don't want to answer. And I just see it as God exploring God's contrast, a different perspective, right? Just see it as God exploring a different perspective. And then people call me crazy when I say, oh, God, not the God. Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll tend to happen. Part of that path, right? That's part of the divine path. Hello. You mean to join? Maybe not. You fell asleep on the phone with me? I'm so romantic sometimes. Shit, whether I receive it or not, I won't be trading forever. I've been scaling up anyway, so I've been scaling up with the trading like crazy anyway, so I won't be doing that much longer. Rim, what it do? Yeah, the annoyances are real. Such is life, though, you know? Such is life. What's up, Hurt? Every time I see you come on, I'm always excited. Marcus. Appreciate you, Lisa. Said you can't on TikTok, Did I manifest
because my TikTok. Not really. Not really. I didn't really focus on it, to be honest. I didn't really focus. I don't focus on the TikTok. I think, well, the one thing that I did want was a good community. And I honestly think that, this is probably the best community on on TikTok for sure. I believe this community is top notch. This community on my page is absolutely top notch. So that's really the only thing that I thought about. Everything else was no. I do it because I simply put out content and do these because I enjoy it. I enjoy just talking. Do I still have moments where I get attached to the ego and external circumstances? Of course. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. 100%. I dealt with that a lot, with my mom with cancer. I dealt with that so much, right? But that's fine. That's just part of me being human. So it wasn't something that I sat around and judged. I simply saw it for what it was. Okay, cool. Right now I'm having this natural human experience because this is my mother and I love her, right? And I don't want her to go like this. Boom. And that was it, right? So giving myself the grace to feel like that and still knowing that everything is going to work out perfectly, that was the key. That's why I'll constantly say, honor your humanity and your divinity. Honor your humanity and divinity, right? I'm a being of duality. I know that I am God. However, I love certain things within this reality, right? Y'all know I love women. I love money. I like things that I like, right? I experience these things because it's part of me enjoying the human experience. Boom. It's part of me enjoying the human experience. So, also what comes with the human experience is emotions, thoughts, right? Sometimes I feel quote unquote confused. Interesting, I was going to say this on the last live, but because I remember when it happened. Do you remember when there were all these people that were coming out saying that the rapture was coming? I know you do, Source. I know you do. We all do. So do y'all remember when there were all these conversations about the rapture, right? It was interesting because I remember looking at it and at first thought I was like, this shit is fucking ridiculous. Motherfuckers talking about the rapture. This shit is fucking ridiculous. And then part of me was like, I wonder if I'll get left behind if there is a rapture. Then I was like, bro, you're being ridiculous. But it was just one of those moments where I caught myself and I was like, I wonder what would happen? How would I feel if this shit really happened? I was like, at least shut your ass up. Stop tripping and just continue to move forward. So I think those types of moments are fucking normal. It's just part of life, right? It's part of life. Exactly. And that's exactly how I sounded. Like the question that just popped up, like, what do I mean that you're God? Right? It's the same way that I'll sound crazy to some people, right? Doesn't matter. We rest in our convictions. We rest in our conviction. Right? The point that you want to get to is to be so rooted in your conviction that you have no desire to argue for it, because it's just your conviction, right? You want to be rooted in it. You want to be grounded enough to also be able to take another perspective, right? But cool. I feel like saying I'm God is such an ego thing. I mean, obviously you haven't been listening to what I'm saying, and if you still feel that way. Yeah, and then we have to use our own conviction with the things that we want as well, exactly. So what if we're wrong? I mean, you can be, I'm not. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong at all. So I don't know who this we is that you're talking about. So I'll leave that to y'all to figure out. What if y'all are wrong? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. So from my perspective, how does focusing on awareness? It's not focusing on awareness. It's really not focusing on anything. It's simply being. It's being from the knowing that I'm already everything I desire to be, right? It's not focusing on awareness. It's not focusing on I am God, right? All of those things are just facts. They just are what they are. And even just focusing on awareness, what does that do for you? It doesn't do anything, right? What manifests is my decision that everything is working out for me. I choose to see life through the lens of I am always 100% supported. I'm 100% supported, right? So that's the focus. The focus isn't on awareness itself. You just are awareness, right? Everything is awareness. So me waking up is awareness. Me being pissed off is awareness, right? Me having a pain is awareness. Everything is my awareness. So it's going to a deeper knowing that everything's working out for me. It's all perfect. The true self, the true self, the true self. Is the higher self your individual Holy Spirit. We make concessions and we will create stories so things can make sense to us from a human perspective. But some people will say there is no higher self. Some people will say the higher self is God. Some people will say the higher self is kind of the Christ consciousness. Some people, the higher self is this part of you that's connected to all of your lives and all that is really relevant, right, for you to understand is that you're divinely guided and watched out for. That's it, right? Anything else is just going to be my perspective of the higher self. My perspective of the higher self is that I am the higher self. There's no separation between me and the higher self. At this point in my journey, there's no, I think and see and view life and experience life as my higher self. I am the version of me that showed up to the younger me and told me what to do. You are the prophecy, right? So can I expand on that? Of course, right? If I say that I am God, then what is there left? What is left, right? Oh, the expanding. Well, I'm the one who, whenever I thought, okay, I'll be proud of myself in the future when I do this, the one that was telling me that is the version of me that I am now. The version of me that I looked up for, the version of me that I wanted to be with confidence and all this is me now. The version of me that I wanted to be with money is me now. It's me. The version of me that I was trying to become is me. Now, I don't say that because of the material things. I say that because of who I am. Because I know myself as the fullness of God in motion, as all versions of myself combined into one. It's not a statement of arrogance or ego. It sounds like that to the untrained mind. But this is a statement of simply oneness, of unity, of knowing it's all going to work out. I've made a choice. I have made a choice to be the version of myself that is always there for me. The same way that you're making that choice, right? If something bad happens out of the blue, doesn't mean we called it for it. No, it just means that it happened. Good and bad are just perspectives, right? It just means it happens. Now, you get to decide what it means. You get to decide how you're going to walk forward from it. Reality is meaningless. You get to decide how it unfolds, what you're going to receive in your life, who you're going to be moving forward. But no. Thank you, Tiffany. What's up, Sean? Appreciate you. Truly. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. What do I want to talk about? Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. I'm chilling. The day's been good. The day's been good. The day's been super smooth. Super smooth. Um, how do I process the hurt? And you just move through it. You go through it. You handle it like a human being, right? Do I ever speak in a conference type environment? I feel like this is a conference type environment right here. This is a conference type environment right here. This is it. Then how do I deal with resentment? I feel it. I allow myself to be resentful. And then I choose how I'm gonna move forward from it. Resenting someone doesn't really impact them, right? Like me, quote unquote, resenting someone has nothing really to do with them. It just has some. It just the only person that's getting hurt is me, right? I'm the only person sitting there pissed off with myself. So from that perspective, I don't really desire to be resentful. So then I make a choice not to be.
I'm about to be super selective with what I answer. You can have an extension of your credit card? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I knew you loved me. I knew you loved me. What does it mean to see opposite things? Nothing. It just means that reality is still changing to match you. What else would it mean? It just means everything is still happening for you. Letting go of cultural beliefs and standards. It's still a choice, right? Holding on or letting go of a cultural belief or standard is a choice. Often we'll think of a cultural belief or a standard and we'll say things like, well, in our mind we have this belief that when I no longer think like that at all, then it'll all work out. However, you can make the choice right now. If you're aware that you have a cultural belief, you can simply make a choice to say, even though I feel this way about it, boom, this is not how my reality is going to move forward anymore. So it's your simple choice. Simple choice. A condition. I'm not wearing a leash. I'm not wearing a leash. If that's a condition, I can't do it. Anything else, though, I got you. So if manifestation is instant, why do we still see choices of our past identities? Because you're basing instant manifestation on what's out there instead of who you are. It's because you don't listen, Source. Because I talk about that all the time. When you make a decision, why is it instant? What makes it instant? What makes it instant, Source? What makes it instant is that you make a decision and that you immediately become the person that you desire to be. Sorry, sis, I gotta get on your ass because you're choosing not to understand. What makes it instant is deciding. What I feel about witchcraft, I want a woman that does witchcraft. Look, that's the type of woman I like. I want a woman that goes and talks to a tree, right? If she talks to trees, right? I don't want to worry about her talking to another man. You know what I'm saying? Women I deal with, they go talk to trees when they're upset. That's the type of woman I like, right? I want a woman that's gonna pull out a random deck of tarot cards, anywhere, and say, pull one. I just don't like your energy, Alex. Pull one. That's what I fucking like. That's what I like, right? Shit, witchcraft, I'm down for it. I'm down for it, right? Yeah. You don't like that? You don't like that woman you work with? Put a fucking hex on her ass then. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of woman I like. Right? She deals purely in the spiritual realm. She not talking shit. She finna goddamn put a fucking magic spell on your ass. That's what I want. No, you think I'm lying. I'm so serious. That's what I like. I want me a spiritual woman. Like, when I see a woman that pulls out tarot cards, something in me says, oh, yes, this is it. I love a woman that pulls out tarot cards, bro. Right. Like, talk to Ralph. I ain't got to worry about her talking to nobody else. She don't even like people like that. She just likes me and nature. Appreciate it. Oh man, Shauna, that's heavy. I'm my empathy, right? My heart goes out to you, right? We're all in this together. Truly give yourself the grace and the time to allow your journey to unfold, right? To love yourself on that journey, to give yourself the love and the compassion that you need when dealing with that loss. Because in these times of the physical transition, right? And it could be with anyone, whether we talk about a parent or a child or a friend or a sibling or whatever the case may be, is that we have this beautiful opportunity to give ourselves intimacy and grace and get closer to ourselves and give ourselves presence. The same way that, the question I always ask is, if you have a child and they came up to you and they were sad because they had lost someone, what would be the most important thing for you to give them? And it would always be presence. Okay? It would always be presence. So, my condolences, right? My condolences. Give yourself presence, understanding, and love throughout that journey. And know that we're all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. So people that tap into this witchcraft mess themselves up because they don't know what they're diving in. I feel like that's a perspective. Yeah, I love me a woman that don't like people, bro. Y'all funny. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny.
So, tapping into spirit. So, okay. So what the question implies is that there's something outside of me, right? And so it's not that, okay, so my belief is just oneness, right? I'm a unity consciousness, oneness type of guy. So me believing or insisting that there's more than one power is me buying into the illusion, right? And there's only one power, there's only God, there's only all that there is. So while people can use certain things as permission slips, right? Whether it's a tarot card, whether it's witchcraft, whether it's a zodiac sign, whatever the case may be, they're not really tapping into anything outside of themselves. They're simply revealing what has always been within them. There's no power outside of you, right? If right now, let's say that somebody decided to do voodoo and you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You make up a decision in your mind and you say, well, you can't do shit to me. In your reality, there will be absolutely no repercussions. Now, let's say that you bought into it and you believe that oh my God, it's real. You can ruin my life. You would face the repercussions. Even if you didn't face repercussions, you would face repercussions simply because your knowing would lead you down the path of experiencing. It would simply create that illusion. So it's not that there's this other world that we're tapping into, right? There's no other world. We are in everything. We are already within all that there is right now, right? We just give these things belief and power and say, oh, well, this is going to tap into more, a different frequency or a different energy. But it's all belief. It's simply our mind creating, right? Creating the experience for us. Hugging my voodoo.co. Hug it in the special place. How about that? My life path? No, I don't know. I never was big on like the life path numbers. No, well, jazz. I mean, woman of jazz. So yeah. It's all cool. It's all cool, right? Like, why? Do you believe that it's a problem? I don't believe that you do think it's a problem. I'm just curious. I think all of those items are permission slips, though. Right? I think they're all permission slips. Oh yeah, right there. Just down a little bit more. Just lower, a little bit lower. Thank you. Thank you. I feel you. I feel you. I mean, if that's your belief, right, that people are tapping into these powers that could hurt them, then it's always going to be proved true, right? So it wouldn't be any point in us even like debating that, right? Like my belief is, so the beautiful thing about truth, right, is that we're all allowed to have our own, and truth will be constantly proven to me. So, and you know what I'm saying, I'm family, just Nigerian, so we've got experience dealing with all that voodoo and witchcraft and all that stuff, right? there was a time in my life where I really bought into it, where I really believed in it. Until I was like, well, if it's all me, it makes no sense. If I'm the creator of my reality, it makes no sense for me to believe in those things. Both of those perspectives have been proven to be true to me, right? My belief in it was proven to be an absolutely valid and true belief. My belief in myself and deciding that nothing has power over me, I was given an opportunity to really prove that to myself as well. Okay? So it's all, no matter what perspective I take, it'll be proven to me, right? Immaculate. Isn't there darkness in that realm? If you believe so, yeah. But there's darkness in you, right? Even scripture says, right? I make the dark, I make the light, I the Lord do all these things, right? So don't fear. Don't fear the dark. The dark is part of creation, right? The dark is duality. This is the representation of even God, the split into positive and negative. The yin and the yang, the light and the dark, they're just different opposites of the same oneness, the same unity. You just get a choice to choose what you want to use to create with, right? It's all perfect. It's all beautiful. It's still all God. There's nothing outside of God. Don't try to put my business out there, Maria. Don't put my business out there. I make the light, I make the dark. I, the Lord, do all these things. I, the Lord, do all these things. Yeah. I honor it. I honor both the light and the dark. My name is Alexander DeWine. I am God. When are you gonna hook me up with some food and a goosey? I'm about to start selling plates. I'm about to start selling plates. Jay the King. Food was extravagant. I do feed you anyway. Y'all funny. Are you ready for the mix? Oh no. Oh no. Does my sis think like me? Nah. Nah. She's getting into it, but she's not into it like I am. But it doesn't matter because she's in my reality anyway. So, something about me. Thanks. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. What But it's so hard for people to believe the concept they are God. I mean, it's conditioning. I think the first part is getting beyond conditioning, and then after that, it's, it feels like arrogance when you first say it, right? It comes off as this arrogant thing. But it's hard to grasp, right? The concept of God is everything and everywhere all at once. It's a difficult concept to. It's not a difficult concept to grasp, but it can be challenging for the programmed mind. Knowing myself as God, lost all motivation to do anything. I mean, did you lose the? Okay, do you mean you lost all the motivation to do things, like to strive to become somebody, or you just lost motivation to living? If anything, it should allow you to really walk through life with this new type of love, of sight, to see everything is for you, to see everything is unfolding towards you. Yeah. The striving is cool. How did I feel about people during my spiritual awakening? Honestly, I don't think I felt that annoyed. I did slip into judgment a lot. So I guess with that part, you're right. I did slip into judgment a lot, where I was like, damn, these idiots. But even that was part of me waking up and realizing that everybody's path is unique and perfect, right? So even my judgment in itself, where did it come from? Right? Where did it come from? The judgment came from the illusion of separation. Yes, for sure, layers. Yeah. Yeah, there's no need to purify nothing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I'm finna let y'all talk to each other. I'm gonna let y'all talk to each other. It's deeper than this. What's the, what else is there? What else is there? It's deeper than what? You just cast that major judgment on everybody. You just threw out the big ass net of judgment. It's like everybody acting enlightenment, but y'all have a long way to go. Now let me throw this judgment on top of y'all. Come on, man. The twin flame journey is just like every other journey, right? Look, okay. You can't measure whether someone is your twin flame or not, a soulmate, right? Well, the truth is that if we go to a deeper truth, there's only one. There's only God. So what is it? Who is and is not a twin flame? Who is and is not a soulmate, right? We're all simply divine reflections of one another. I can choose to experience a soulmate or a twin flame within whoever, because there's only God, there's only oneness, right? So we'll attach these labels to people and say, oh, well, this is a twin flame, this is a soulmate. But all of that is simply your judgment. Okay, I feel a little bit more connection to this person, so let me name them a twin flame or a soulmate. Or we'll even go far and go, oh, I got a reading. Oh, I just know. It's a karmic relationship, all of these things, right? But the truth, there's only one. There's only God. There's only you. There's no one out there. There is no one else out there. There is no other twin flame. There is no other soulmate. So when we come back to that truth that there's only unity, there's only God, there's only one. Well, that's what I think about the soulmate or the twin flame journey. Is that oftentimes we'll use these things just as permission slips to allow us to desire someone. They must be a twin flame. Just don't allow it to enable you to put up with shit you don't want. Right? Oh, the twin flame journey has to be difficult. It'll be the most difficult journey. This person's cheating on me and then doing all this stuff. And then we just kind of, because we've heard from some source that that's how this journey should be, we simply start accepting less. Believing that there's some kind of divine fate that's written when we are the ones writing fate. We are the ones writing destiny. Right? So that's how I feel about it. It's not about what you've done in the past. It's about what you do now moving forward. Instead of taking that time and judging and being like, oh, I've created this personal hell, instead of judging yourself, why not decide who you are right now moving forward? It's the only thing that you have control over. You can't change the past. The past doesn't even exist anymore. It's just a thought. But you can perfectly change and decide who you're going to be right now. And that right there, right? That right there is going to allow you to move forward and simply have the reality that you want, right? Use everything as a divine teacher. Use everything as a divine teacher. No need to judge yourself, right? Judgment comes from the illusion of separation. I judge others. I judge versions of myself in the past because I refuse to accept that right now I am perfect and whole and complete, and I have all the power within me to change my life, to change the trajectory of everything. You wouldn't be here without your past, right? All those versions of you simply made their best choice. They did the best that they could to get you to this moment, right? And from this moment, now you can do everything. I'm changing, but my reality is still taking its time to change too. All right. You've said this before in a different way. So here's my question to all of you. Sorry, sometimes I gotta get the belt out. Sometimes y'all just act like y'all don't fucking hear when I try to be kind, all right? When are you gonna stop feeling sorry for yourself and actually decide that everything is working out for you? When? What are you waiting for? It's always, oh, the past and my thoughts, and I'm confused, and I don't know, and things are taking time, and oh my God, and don't you get tired of hearing yourself complain? Don't you get tired of jumping into every live stream and be like, I just don't understand why things are not happening. Oh my God, my life, oh, the past. Don't you get fucking tired of that? When are you going to just make the decision that everything is working out? Okay, I understand. It's all working out. I am God. Life's unfolding perfectly for me. When? What is stopping you? What permission are you waiting for? What new information are you waiting for? I still love y'all though. But goddamn, some of y'all act hard-headed. It's done. Like, you don't have to live in your past anymore. You don't have to live in the past anymore. It doesn't even exist. And then we'll be like, oh, my past thoughts and all these things are... Do your thoughts create reality? I dare somebody to say yes. Do y'all's thoughts create reality? It's not as simple as making a decision. You have to go within the source. What does that mean? What does that mean? You have to go within a source. What does that even mean? If God is everything and everywhere, then where are you going within to? What distance is there to travel to get to a God that's omnipresent? When you have a desire that comes up, where do you believe the desire comes from? When you're speaking, who do you believe you're speaking to? When you affirm, who are you affirming to? Do you believe that God is some presence far away in the clouds or far away deep within you? If God is you, if the kingdom is within you, then when you have the desire, where do you think the desire came from? Do you believe that you have this divine desire from the God within you, and now you have to convince the God within you to give you the desire that God gave you? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. We create this illusion of separation, like God is something to be sought and found. God is something to be remembered as yourself. The only person creating distance between you and God, whether you think that God is somewhere deep within you or way out there, is you. Whether you think God is behind an affirmation, a visualization, a technique, it's beyond healing your trauma. We create all these boundaries for the boundaryless. Omnipresent means there's no boundaries, no edges, no here or there. There is just God. Okay, there's just God. So we add all of these conditions, right? It's not enough to make a choice. When has it not been enough just to make a choice? It was always enough to make a choice until you got into this quote unquote spiritual world. And now all of a sudden it's conditional. It's reprogram this, rewire this, go within and do this, sit in the church and do this, tithe and do this, baptize and do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. There's never been anything separating you from God, except for your illusion and your belief that there is. Whether you believe you can only access God through a certain diet, through a certain practice, through a certain meditation, through a certain state of being, through a certain feeling, through a certain thought, there's nothing, here we go. There is nothing that you can do or say or feel or experience. There's nothing that you could ever do to get closer to God. There's nothing you could ever do to get further from God because you just are God. God just is you. Your breath is the breath of God. You can disagree. That's fine. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. But there will come a moment where you'll realize the only person creating boundaries between you and God is you. It's you. It's something made up in your mind. That goes against the very definition of omnipresence. And so when I hear that, it's not you. You don't really believe that. You're repeating something, regurgitating something that you've heard somewhere else. Or you're basing closeness to God on a feeling. But God is unconditional. Your feelings change all the time. If you get cut off in traffic and you get pissed off, does that mean you're further from God? No, that would be ridiculous. There can be no distance between there cannot be any distance between you and that which is omnipresent. That goes against the very meaning of omnipresent. Okay? Cool. It's why, and we talk about this, right? This is why even on the mystic path, you have to explain unity through the lens of separation, because it takes the mind a while to get there, right? We are most of us are born in this indoctrination, and this world is always preaching things opposite, right? The world is always preaching things opposite. It's saying you have to do this to be. Okay? You have to do this to be. I can tell you, but how can you truly understand without connecting with source within? Well, okay, I would ask you, what does that mean? What does connecting to the source within you mean? Because you can say that all you want, but I would ask you, okay, give me a definition of what that means. What you see is the more you start to really try to explain it, you'll realize that it doesn't mean anything. Connecting to the source within you, you're chasing a feeling. You're chasing some feeling. You believe that a feeling gets you closer there. But no matter what you feel, you just are God. It's not a feeling. A feeling is just part of your human experience. It doesn't add or take away from your divinity. You wake up, you don't become more divine. You wake up to the realization that you've never been anything less. Right? You wake up to the realization you ain't never done. You've never been anything less. Right? So, oh man. Yeah, we do expect something when we're told to go within, right? We expect a feeling or a revelation or something to flow over us and flood us, right? And to speak in tongues. And we expect all of these performative things, right? We expect all of these performative things when but God is unconditional. God is absolutely unconditional. Unconditional. 100% with you when you accept that this spirit is 100% with you, even when you expect that it's not. The only difference is you are so powerful and you are so connected to source, right? That guess what? You can create the illusion of separation by choosing to experience separation. Yeah, that's true. This is true. This is true. This is true.
Thank you, Ash. Which is interesting, right? It's a very profound realization, a revelation. I'm always 100% connected to the divine, right? Even my forgetting, which is just part of God forgetting to experience separation, so it can experience itself, right? The veil of illusion. But then also, even when I decide there's separation and I have to do something to get closer, even in those moments, I'm still so close that I can create an experience of separation. And when I accept that I'm close, I'm still just as close. I don't get any closer or any further, right? It's a very beautiful revelation. It's a very, very beautiful revelation. The seeker energy of me realized it wasn't a door. Surrendered. Good. Spiritual love. Good. Right? It's you get to choose the identity, right? You get to choose the identity that you are. And everything flows from identity. All those names are fine. Do you have to take action? No, you don't have to take action, but you can do whatever you want from the identity of already being it, right? I'm a person who likes to do things, so therefore I do things. But I do them from the knowing that I'm already everything I desire to be. Do I need anything? Nah. Do I find it hard to connect with someone on a romantic level? No, I don't. I find it easier. I find it much easier. These days, I feel like every woman I run across is a soulmate. But also, I guess when I was first coming into this and I was really judgmental, then it was a little bit more difficult because I was expecting, I was like, I need you to do this and think like this, but now I don't. Now I just exist. I just exist. And that has been more rewarding than anything else. I have a type. No. A woman that likes me. That I'm attracted to. I said I am never gonna. Oh yeah. A tarot reader and a eater. With music, I mean, these days I don't listen to too much new stuff, right? God, when is the last time I really just listened to music? Damn, good question. It's a good question. It's hard as a woman, though, to find healthy masculine energy. I mean, that's an assumption that you're making. That's an assumption you're making, goddess. Right? If right now I decide that women ain't shit, I have no reality has no choice but to support me unconditionally in my knowing. Right? But the moment that I open up and I say, you know what, there are beautiful, divine people in every corner of this world ready to meet me, that becomes my reality as well. Right? Be careful. You don't tell the story that you do not want to experience, because now you're gonna have to walk into that reality. What did it do, Priest? How many of y'all have met each other in person? I'm always curious the way that y'all start talking to each other on this live. Have any of y'all met? I'm sure y'all like talking on the phone and stuff. Can't meet anyone. I'm in France. The triplets haven't met yet. Not in person ever. Oh yeah, so you are from fucking Nebraska, straight from the cornfields. I feel like I've met y'all too. I want to meet with Colin. Yeah, I feel like I've met a lot of y'all too. South Africa. Where are y'all from? Why don't y'all put where y'all from? I didn't know you were in Houston. My sister out there. Not saying that you have permission to talk to her though. Can't do that. We damn near brothers now, so you can't do that. Portland, Oregon, New York City, Colorado, Cali, Brooklyn, Saskatchewan, Miami. Nah, it's cool. She's a grown woman. I'm just playing. Massachusetts, California, South Cackalack. That's cool. Dang, it's a lot of different places. Atlanta. Yo, Shelly in Ireland. That's so cool. I'm the only Canadian. No, so I think there's a couple other people from Canada. No, you're definitely not the only one outside the state, Shelly. There's Canada. There's a France. There's a lot of Africa. There's a lot of people. We could all make a. Yeah, South America too. It's a couple of y'all out here from Mexico City. Interstellar movie night. What a great movie. If anyone has not seen Interstellar, it's such a great movie. Such a good movie. Groot retire. Uh, I do love whiskey. I do love whiskey. Which SP source? Which SP? Which one? Nah, brother. Nah, I don't sleep, man. Barbados. Michelle's from Barbados. That's fire. Who else is from Barbados? Isn't it No, it's not Santi. It's Cookie. Cookie is from Barbados as well. Cookie is from Barbados. So cool.